Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Amanda. So in this short video, we're just going to be talking about the Sephardic Jews. So let's just jump right into it. So Sephardic Jews lived in the Iberian Peninsula of Spain and Portugal until their expulsion in 1492, after which they spread to North Africa, the Ottoman Empire, and parts of Italy and the Netherlands. Conversos are Jewish people who converted to Catholicism in Spain and Portugal, particularly in the 14th and 15th centuries, or their descendants. Often forced to convert due to riots and persecution, they were also called New Christians. Many continued practicing Judaism in secret and are called crypto-Jews, and faced persecution from the Inquisition. A lot of crypto-Jews that were Sephardic Jews came to New Mexico. These secret Jews often blended Catholic and Jewish practices, creating a unique, hidden cultural identity that is only now emerging, with some descendants returning to open Jewish practice. I recently found out that my family is from Spain and Portugal. They were Sephardic Jews that were expelled from Spain and Portugal and migrated here to New Mexico with a lot of other Sephardic Jewish families. When I was doing research into my genealogy and my family tree, I discovered a lot of the last names in my family are connected to the Sephardic Jews. For instance, my grandmother, my dad's mother, her last name was Toledo. Toledo is a last name that a lot of Sephardic Jews used. It's in reference to Toledo, Spain, where it was called the Jerusalem of Spain and is connected to the Jews of that region. Toledo is frequently linked to the Hebrew word Toldet, which means generations or descendants. And then on my mother's side, we're Montoya, and that is also another Sephardic Jewish last name. And one of our ancestors, whose name was Alfonso de Zamora, was a Jewish Spanish scholar and a major contributor to, he helped translate the Bible for Spain. He converted to Catholicism while privately retaining his Jewish practices. When him and his family moved to New Mexico, they changed their last name to Montoya, and that's how I'm also Sephardic Jew on my mother's side as well as my father's side. Also, I took a DNA test to find out my heritage, and it says that I am 58% from Europe and 45% is that of Spain and Portugal and some France, and 13% of North Italy. I have 5% Sub-Saharan African and 37% South, Central, and North America. Scriptures show us that God set apart the Jewish people. He chose them as the people to whom he would reveal himself and give his word. He charged them with obeying and preserving his word throughout all their generations. The Lord selected the Jewish people to be a light unto the nations, the Gentiles, bearing testimony of him to the world. It was from Israel that God sent the Messiah for all of mankind, to the Jew first, and then the Gentile. So you are to be holy to me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and I have signaled you out from the peoples to be mine. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. But like the Holy One who called you, be holy yourselves in all your behavior. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 15. To be holy means to be set apart, to be unique and unlike the world. It is to be particular and cut out from the rest. In other words, beloved kids of the King, we are to look different, talk different, and be different. Despite periods of exile, the prophetic vision includes the restoration of Israel. A foundational biblical theme where God separates Israel from other nations to be his own treasured possession, aimed at serving a specific purpose rather than implying inherent superiority. The setting apart means Jews and the state of Israel are often held to a higher, more demanding moral standard. I love the Jewish people. I think that they are a very unique and intriguing group of people. I find their culture and everything, it's very interesting, and I truly value them because that is the roots of, of Christianity is Judaism. So I really do care for them, and I say this out of complete care and love because it's hard to see someone make mistakes and go down a path that makes it harder than it has to be. So I say this with just a lot of love and care, but I say this because I don't want them to go down a path that is very misleading and deceptive. And I think a lot of the world is being deceived. There's a lot of mixture of um, false things and misconceptions, stereotypes that we're being fed and told, and we need to really dig deep and really ask the Lord for knowledge to discern these things in these end times. God doesn't permit us to steal or kill, especially after Jesus. He says to love our enemies, and I think we have to go about things a certain way if we want to stay obedient to God. So I think the standard of high morals is something that if it's not there, then it's against God. And it's really the government of Israel, not so much the people, because the government's in a place where they can be very deceptive and they have a lot of control and power, and they don't really align with a lot of the things that God says to do. Like, for instance, Tel Aviv is the gay capital of the Middle East. For a few years now, Tel Aviv has hosted one of the biggest gay pride celebrations in the whole world, not even just the Middle East. Other things like they have very liberal, I think the most liberal abortion laws there. So they're doing things that are really against God, and it's something that it's not right, it's not justifiable, and especially killing children in Gaza. Innocent children, they're not terrorists, they mean no harm, they're innocents.
Conscience about what you did in your time as a soldier?
For me, it's the routine way we control the Palestinians, right? A Palestinian can wake up in the morning and not know if he will be at work on time, go to sleep, not know if soldiers will invade his home. We basically control the most simple and basic elements of life.
It's designed to break down the population of Palestinians and show them who's in charge and humiliate them on a daily basis.
Exactly. How can we make 2.5 million Palestinians in the West Bank to feel that they cannot lift their head up? We will make them understand that we control.
Our name, in the name of the Jews, worse than that, in the name of the Torah, in the name of God. Even in the Muslim countries, we live peacefully. The only place where Jews are in a daily basis danger is the state of Israel. Zionism didn't serve any goodness, not for Jews and of course not for the Palestinians. Zionism only brings bloodshed and bloodshed and bloodshed, an endless river of blood. That the state of Israel will come to an end in the whole state. The whole Palestine from the river to the sea will go back to Palestinian government. And then Jews and Muslims can continue to live there together in harmony and peace. We hope it will be soon in our... Zionism is not Judaism at all, and Judaism is not Zionism. And I will address in the beginning this claim of the promised land. It's true. It's written in the Torah that God promised a land for the Jews. But when you look in the book of in the Torah, you will see very clearly it's written over 30 times that the promised land was only under certain conditions. If we keep a high moral of life. If not, it's written in the Torah that they will be exiled of the land. Everybody reads the Torah can see that. It's very clear. This is the part what the Zionists ignoring. And when you look after that in the books of the prophets, you see that the same God who gives the land for the Jews, he took it away from the Jews. He sent us into exile. And he besworn us with 3 oaths, not to end the exile, not to go out of exile by our own force, not to rebel against the nations, not to go up in mass to the Holy Land. Jewish people are believers in God. We are loyal to God. Loyalty to God is number 1 in the religion, not only in the Jewish religion, in all the religions. The first thing is be loyal to God. Don't rebel against Him. When God sends us into exile, we are staying in exile. We are not rebel against God. The Zionists, on the other hand, the founder of the Zionists was Ted Herzl. He was a secular Jew. He don't believe in God. He don't believe in the Torah. He didn't make even a circumcision for his own son. A circumcision really is the last thing what even secular Jews keep. This is the last thing, everybody doing that. But he was proud that he didn't make a circumcision. He don't believe in nothing. Of course, he don't believe in the exile. He don't believe that God exiles us of the land. So they have a different look, and they say, oh, why we are in exile? What we have to do to go out of exile? What should the English people do if they are in exile? They have to organize themselves, make a country, grab a piece of land. We will never do that. We have a believing God. We know we are in exile by the hands of God. And when God punishes us, we stay with the punishment. We not rebel. It's like if you have a child, he is bad, you told him, I punish you. Stay in the corner for 10 minutes, and he coming out. What means that? Rebellion. Jewish people are not do such a thing. Jewish people are believers. Believing don't mean when it's light. When it's light, you see it's light. Believing people means when it looks dark, we are still believing in God. However, the Zionists don't believe in God and don't believe in the Torah. Beside of that, the hypocrisy, what the Zionists said, the promised land, who promised that? You don't believe in God. Who promised that? Where do you see this promise? In the Torah. You don't believe. Look, Jewish people living today in Iran. I take the extreme example. Iran. Iran is the greatest enemy of Israel in the middle of the war. Iran didn't concentrate the Jewish people in concentration camps now. They protect them like normal citizens. There are 35,000 Jewish people living in Iran just now. And they have a golden life there, even in the middle of the war. They have no problem. The Iranians have no hatred against Jews. They have a problem with the occupation. And the Iranians say that again and again and again and again. In the media, we are not against Jews. We are against the occupation. But the mainstream media are under Zionist influence, and they want to brush everybody with anti-Semitism, and then they can say, oh, this is Nazis, this is anti-Semitic. Haven't got nothing to do with anti-Semitic. Why the media didn't bring out this point that Jewish people living in Iran now, under the missiles, they're living free. They have today their schools, their high schools, all the institutes. There's a Jewish hospital in Iran, funded completely by the government. Why you don't see that in the news? They just say the Iranian anti-Semites, the Nazis. Why people are so blade? Why they don't think? just open the eyes. And not only Iran, all the Muslim countries are full of Jews. In Morocco, in
So Revelation chapter 2 verse 9 through 10 says, I know your afflictions and your poverty, yet you are rich. I know about the slander of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and will suffer persecution for 10 days. Be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown. And then Revelation chapter 3 verses 9 through 12 says, I will make those who are the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews though they are not, but are liars, I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. Who is victorious, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. I will write on them the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which is coming down out of heaven from God, and I will also write on them my new name. Whoever has ears, let them hear, the Spirit says to the churches. I really hope that this video encourages people just to really think about things and really be cautious about what they support and what they believe. And sometimes things aren't always so black and white. Sometimes it's a lot more complex than that. So I really just hope that this video, it's not to sway you one way or another. It's just, I really hope that it's thought-provoking and it really gets you thinking about a lot of different things that can bring you closer to God and bring you more understanding of God. And everything is considered just to really guide people through these difficult times. So with that, I'm going to end this video. Until next time, guys, God bless.